Hey, people often ask me, Mari, what's your favorite game of all time? And for a lot of you, those are probably games like Minecraft, Breath of the Wild, or Final Fantasy. But for me, one game stands out in particular. Well, two, but we're gonna ignore that one for now. This is Mother 3, the third game in the Mother series and sequel to popular game Earthbound. In Mother 3, you play as a kid named Lucas, who has to travel the world and awaken an ancient power before it gets into the wrong hands. It's a very deep and emotional story about love, death, and family. So I decided I'm going to completely ruin it and blend the whole game into a randomized mess. But before I can show you that, you gotta make sure you're subscribed, because if you're subscribed, I can keep making cool videos. In Mother 3, you get to name your characters. Normally, I always go with their default names, but I'm feeling a little bit mischievous. We begin as our main character, Doofus. We hear knocking on our urge to wake up by our brother, Smelly. We run outside to meet him and are introduced to these big dinosaur things called Dragos. We are taught how to rush them, which is basically a soft tutorial for battles. After we rush them, this little cricket approaches us, and we are sent into battle and given our first randomized encounter. The little cricket guy turned into a boar. He was no challenge at all, but still, our mom then tells us that our favorite food is ready. Mari Burger! I didn't know this game was such a big fan. We then destroy that Mari Burger lunch and are swapped to the next perspective of the game, our father. We are bombarded with this guy at our door, telling us he needs our help and then the forest is on fire. He joins our party and we journey together into the forest. Once we get far enough, we are stopped by a man who wants to remind us that he looks hotter than us, and then he proceeds to give us a cookie covered in pocket lint. I don't know. Then we are given the first non-scripted encounter of the game. Oh, that's a giant snake with a PNG of my dead son behind him. He was actually really weak. Get shit on. Items are also random, so I found a heavy charm and managed to get our defense up to 99. Things are looking quite well so far. As we continue, we come across a group of pig masks who have a box full of mummy cats. Weird. Anyways, as we keep investigating, we find a bunch of robotic maids, which, once we talk to, turn into a pile of goo. Soon after, we find Lighter, who tells us his son Fuel is up ahead. Get it? Cause Lighter and Fuel. As we try to find Fuel, we're jumped by the group of mummy cats, which, once our battle begins, shows themselves to actually be 3 final facades. What the hell, dude? After defeating them, we're able to find Lighter's shack, grab Fuel, and make it out without too much of an issue. We take Lighter back to his dad, who was in a hotel. As we try to leave the hotel, we are pulled aside by Isaac, who tells us that he saw what he believes to be our wife and children being brutally attacked by a Drago. Before heading out to the woods to look for them, we run back to the house and are joined by our beloved dog, Femur. Femur runs to grab Duster, who we renamed Yamcha because I was watching Dragon Ball. Once we get him in our party, we're able to scale this wall to get to the first major encounter. We come across this group of pig masks who have us fight against this reinforced caribou. This fight, for some reason, wasn't randomized. We are easily able to beat him using wall stables and mashing attack. After this fight, we are brought to a cutscene where we are given good and bad news. And spoiler alert, if you haven't already made the assumption, our wife is dead. Dead as hell. Upon learning this, we attack all of our friends in front of our kids and go to jail. We wake up in jail the next day to our son, Smelly, giving us an apple. How nice of him. After he leaves, we find a nail file in the apple? What kind of son are we raising that after seeing me brutally attack all the townsfolk, he decides, I'm gonna put a nails file in an apple? No, don't do that. Once we leave jail, we go up to our wife's grave and find that little criminal decided to try and go kill the Drago that killed his mom. What is this guy's problem? It's not like we can just let him do that, so once again, we set back out into the woods. We stop by Alex, who tells us he has a friend in the area who can help, so he joins our party. Once we arrive there, we learn his friends are the Magypsies, a group of immortal guardians over the land. They tell us how they know where Smelly went and how to get there. On the way, we find a better weapon, nice. Once arriving where they told us to, we encounter the first real boss fight, which in the normal game is a super cool looking Drago that has been turned to a cyborg by the pig masks. But we aren't playing that, are we? So, what's our super cool boss? That's right, a ghost. Just a normal ghost. Pretty underwhelming. After absolutely demolishing the ghost, we have a cutscene where we show Smelly's limp body on the ground, who we can only assume to be dead. How many family members can these two lose in 1 week? Holy shit.